everyone. Keep watching to see my December Plan With Me video. So for this month's theme, I wanted to do Christmas stockings. I've actually never really done an outwardly Christmassy theme. Like, yeah, I've done snow and postage, and the postage was like golden red, which is kind of considered Christmassy colors. But for December, I've never really done a Christmas theme before. I celebrate Christmas, so that's why I wanted to include this in my bullet journal. I know not everybody watching celebrates Christmas, but I personally do. And I thought this theme would be really cute, you know, stockings hanging up, kind of reminding me how they hang up around a fireplace. So that's why I have them hanging on that string, and I just drew a bunch of different stockings. I know traditionally people will have the same kind of stocking in their house for everyone, but I thought it would be cuter if I kind of did a variety, like mixing and matching different sizes and patterns and stuff. So that's what I'm doing, as you can see. To draw a stocking, all you have to do is kind of draw a sock shape and then add a little fluffy part at the top, or you know what I mean, like the white part at the top that's fluffy. And then you can add any sorts of patterns. So right here I'm doing some like sweater patterns, plaid. I did one that's just plain red stripes. So really you can play around with it. I think I did polka dots on one of the other pages later on. So yeah, you can really do any pattern. And then after I finished coloring in all the stockings, I started adding these little brick shapes all around because, as I said earlier, kind of reminds me of fireplaces, so I wanted to add a little bit of that theme, and also I just needed to fill up the empty space around the stockings. And I finished off that spread by adding a black border with my pencil and a gel pen. Okay, so moving on to the, what is it called? Quote page. Oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. Moving on to the quote page, I started by drawing some stockings in the corner, as well as some little candy canes and holly berries and ornaments around them for a little bit extra decoration. For the color palette this month, I figured as long as I'm doing a Christmas theme, might as well go with the traditional Christmas colors of red and green. So I have a vibrant green color that I'm using right now, and then I have that bright red, as well as I have a slightly darker red that kind of is, it reminds me of the red that Santa has on his outfit, or his suit, his coat? Is it it's not a suit, it's a coat. Anyways. And then I also have a darker red that you can see I used on the plaid stocking on the cover page, and I also used gray and brown to add a couple accents. And I will make sure to link down below all the supplies that I'm using this month in case you want to recreate this theme or you see anything that you might like to use for your own bullet journal. And I will especially make sure to link down below my link to the bullet journal that I use, or the bullet journal company that I use, because I know a lot of people are going to try and buy bullet journals this month, since next month is January, and everybody tries to start their new journals in January for the most part, so I'll make sure to link that below. I'm actually an Archer and Olive affiliate, which means that if you use my link, or if you use my code soybean10, you get 10% off of that bullet journal or any purchases from Archer and Olive, and I get an extra small commission at no cost to you. So yeah, basically that was my long-winded explanation for I will link everything below. And I think you just saw that I drew some plaid behind the stockings and candy canes and everything, which actually took quite a bit of time, but I just used a red marker and made sure that they're going in perpendicular directions. And then for my quote, ooh, I just slipped the page, but we're still going with it. My quote was, "Have a Merry Little Christmas," because I decided if I'm going to go all out for the Christmas theme, I'm going to go all out, choose the cheesiest, most Christmassy quote that I can find. So for the calendar this month, I decided to make individual 5x5 boxes. They're all spaced one like dot grid box space apart on the bullet journal. And I decided to do it this way because it's a little bit more visually appealing to me when they're separated like this. And I haven't done it in a while, but I decided today I wanted to take some extra time to make them look a little bit nicer and separated like this. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. Okay, also, while I was making this bullet journal spread, I was watching The Great British Baking Show because I know it's not an actual Christmas show. They do have a Christmas version, but The Great British Baking Show always gets me in the mood for Christmas. I don't know why, just the baking maybe, and just all the like pleasant music and seeing cookies and stuff. Okay, also the fact that they call cookies biscuits does bother me quite a bit for some reason. But yeah, I was watching that as I made these spreads and just getting in my holiday vibes, in the mood for the holiday. Also, there was such a twist for the semifinals for The Great British Baking Show. Obviously, I won't be spoiling it, but if you guys watch that show, does anybody else relate? Like, that twist really shook me. The person who got eliminated, I did not expect. Alright, and you can see this a little bit right now, but I'm leaving a space for my monthly goal. I just drew a little candy cane on the corner to make it cute. and then I'm adding a spot for that. I've been doing this recently and I really enjoy having a spot for my monthly goal. And then for the lettering for December, I decided, you know those letters that hold the stockings, like you can put them on the mantle and they will hang the stockings? That's kind of what I tried to do with the December letters, is make it look like those stocking hanger things with the letters on them. So I wrote December in block letters and then have little hooks that are holding all the stockings that I drew. And now I'm just going in with my red and green color palette and coloring all those in. I have a bunch of different patterns and shapes and sizes for the stockings because I like the variety. And also I wanted to make sure that I could fit all of them in there, so some of them had to be smaller than others. But right now I have stripes, sweater patterns, these little diamond patterns, just a straight red stocking, plaid, and another stripes. Anyways, yeah, I have lots of different patterns, and I even have a little ornament on there too. And then looking at this spread, I felt like there wasn't enough color because all of the color was kind of concentrated in the top left. So I added red drop shadows to every single box on the calendar, as you can see right now. I haven't done drop shadows in a hot minute, so I was kind of feeling the drop shadow for this month. And then I labeled with my white gel pen all the days of the week at the top of the calendar. And I forgot to number the calendar, you guys. I think this happens to me pretty much every month at this point. But don't worry, I went back later and numbered it all off. For my mood tracker this month, I think this might be one of my favorite mood trackers that I've ever made. It looked so pretty at the end. But I drew a large stocking that's full to the seams, I'd like to think, since it looks kind of full, of candy canes and ornaments and holly berries. So I'm right now coloring in the 2 candy canes. One of them I added some extra stripes to just for fun, and the holly berries as well, and then I added an ornament at the top. And the way that I made it look full, or at least attempted to make it look like it's full of things, is that I kind of made it bunched up and folded where the crease, kind of where the foot part of the sock meets the top. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. I wish I could point to it. Like, obviously you guys can't see me from through the screen where I'm doing my voiceover back here, but I hope that kind of helped explain. But yeah, just kind of make it look a little bit like it's filled to the seams. And then the actual mood tracker part is the patterns. So there are 31 rows of patterns that I will be filling in 1 row each day of the month with a different color based on my mood. So I just did 1 square of each color that I will be using for the mood tracker, so the color palette, and then I did a black border with the Pentel Energel pen, again just like I had on the cover page around all of this. I used cursive and my regular handwriting to write mood tracker, and then I went back and added all the different smiley faces that show what color represents which mood. This habit tracker that I'm doing right here was one of the most time-consuming habit trackers that I've ever done, and you'll see why in a second. So first I started out by using my ruler to make mini calendars with 1x1 boxes for every day of the week, or every day of the month I mean. I did mess up a bit on one of those calendars, but I used my white gel pen to cover up the mistake. And then after I outlined all of these, I started outlining the labels, which will then be filled in with my black brush pen, just like the calendar page had the labels colored in black, so it'll match. Yeah, you can see right here I'm using the Tombow brush pen to fill those in. Then I used my cursive to write habit tracker at the top, and my apologies also, the lighting in this next few minutes isn't going to be as good as it was. For some reason, all the clouds rolled over and covered the sun, but I think it's still pretty good. Okay, so you saw I drew some candy canes and holly and ornaments at the bottom, and then the time-consuming part begins. I decided it would be really fun to draw plaid all around the page. So I did plaid 2 boxes apart each, I think was how far apart I spaced these lines with my red marker. So I started by drawing the vertical lines, and then I'm going to draw the horizontal ones. Also, I'm pretty sure that I already showed this, but for any lines that had to go on the edge of the bullet journal, I just placed a magazine underneath the journal page so that I made sure I didn't get red marker on any of my other pages. Also, this is at 16 times speed, so that's what I meant when I said this was time consuming. So this month I decided not to do weekly spreads, and the reason is that I have not been using my weekly spreads at all for the past couple weeks, and I feel like it's a waste of page space. So I instead am showing my gratitude tracker and my countdown to Christmas spread. So for the gratitude tracker, I am using my red marker to make kind of a plaid shape but only one vertical line because I want to be able to obviously write on this. And in case I haven't shown a gratitude tracker before, I don't think I have actually in a YouTube video. But basically what it is every day I write down one thing that I'm grateful for on this page. And then you can see here in the corner I decorated it by adding 2 little stockings. I think I colored in one green with polka dots, and the other one is just going to be red with that sweater pattern on it. I feel like at this point in the video the filming became absolutely hectic because not only did the lighting get progressively darker, but also my phone died like 1/3 of the way through filming this countdown to Christmas spread. So I have to quickly explain it because I don't have that much footage for it. But basically I'm drawing a number for every day 1 through 25 counting down to Christmas, and what I'm going to do to fill it out is, right now they're all like black and white but only outlined. I'm going to go in with my black brush pen and actually fill in the number. When we get to the flip through, you'll actually see that number 2 is already filled in as an example since I messed that one up anyways. So here is the flip through right now actually. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. I make monthly Plan With Me videos just like this one, so if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for all of the support on YouTube, you guys. I'll see you next time.